Hello guys, welcome back to another episode. Sorry if there's noise in the background. I can't really do anything about that. It's just it's my brother's few friends over. It's being me a bit noisy. I gotta record it literally right now, and I literally got up 10 minutes ago. So it's 9:50 in the morning, right? And because I've got a bunch of things today, I really wanted to make you guys a video, and so sorry if it's a bit lower quality or whatever, but hopefully it'll be still great. Anyway, so today we're gonna, just because we're starting, I believe we're still doing clicking. So if we look at our no, it wasn't click detector, it wasn't click mouse, it was move to space, or it was, I don't care about that. Or path on click, something like that, one of these two. And it wasn't path on click, it was this one. Yes, this is the one that we built yesterday. Not yesterday. It was ages before yesterday, it was like last week. Oh, other than that, it's been pretty long. I had hospital, a bunch of things. I mean, I love making these videos, they're kind of the whole thing, so hopefully... I mean, you can't really hear that, it's not too bad. So if you can't hear anything, you just think I'm doing a bit craziness, but anyway, so why are we saying it's not selected anymore here? Oh, is that because we're maybe doing like a little selected visual thing? If we're doing a little selected visual thing, then that's fine. Okay, that's probably why. Yeah. We shouldn't be doing for the stats because... Oh, yeah, we should, but okay, that's fine. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Honestly, if my voice sounds really deep, it's just because I just woke up. And there's nothing I can really do about that. Okay, what do we have here? We got to build a buff system. Let's see how much of a buff system we had. Buko effect system. So we have synchro effect, and we've actually basically 100% already built the effect system, right? So we're just actually going to delete it. Nah, we'll keep that. But I'll show you what I mean. So where do we have it? Stats. I have no clue where we put it. We also have towers, by the way, and this is fully working. So I will just show you this. I'm just showing you these scripts just so you can kind of understand, because it's been quite a bit since we wrote these. So then we target. So this basically means that. So I mean, I didn't do a great thing, but oh well. Damage dealt. So once we dealt the damage, right, we find that player, right? Again, I don't know why we do that. Every time. Oh, if damage dealt is done in that area, that's when we target, but that shouldn't be it. That's weird. Okay, so basically what's going to happen is this was kind of based off like a event queue system. I was going to maybe build in this, but I'm not building that anymore. So if you attack an enemy player within tower range, obviously it's going to attack you. But if you attack minions, it's not. So how it's going to work is it's going to most likely... I don't know how I'm going to build it off that. I don't know. I think I'm just going to probably do a system of if you get dealt damage and you're in a tower, like how under your stat system, then just send a message to that tower going, hey, I've just been dealt damage, you know? I think that's what I'm going to do. And that way it's easy, simple, and cool. Okay, yeah, that's easy. Okay, we just did this, and so essentially, if the current target does not occur now, then we shoot it. Else, then we go through all the enemy units. If the enemy unit contains minion, right? So we don't care if it's obviously, enemy units is only if it's not equal to yes, okay, minion and so we got to change this. And enemy units of I.tag does not equal ally, right? Then we target the minion, and then we send it a bunch of, we set our count targets this, and our cache targets this. I don't know why we're caching things. I don't know why we have a cache target, but we do. So just ignore it. Oh, is that just... I don't know why. We just have a cache target, just ignore it. We do. No, we will fix those errors. Let's panic convert line. Format. There we go. Then we fix it. Okay. So what we had last time, it's actually do work this time, is we get stats. Character unique. I don't know what that was for, so we're just going to delete it. No clue what that's for. It's a bunch of random scripts. So that's not the right one. This is the right one. So we have stat system, can move, can attack, can cast. By the way, these public variables, these are only for the rebuild. Maybe close it down and reopen up, and it should rebuild it. So those stat systems, these booleans here, these are only used by the abilities and items. So they all gain access to your stat system, right? Because your inventory is your stat system, and I'll probably just pass it whenever you create an item, right, in your inventory. And so that means that since they all get copy, the easiest way to say it is that basically they can all reference this and go, hey, can I actually cast? Can I actually move? Can I actually attack? And so, for example, some spells like Trinimir's Ult can be cast even though you're stunned and all that stuff, right? So stunning not only affects your movement, not only affects your attacking, but also affects your casting. Immobilization only affects your moving, stuff like that. So it's all, and science only affects your casting. What else? Blinding only affects your attacking. Slowing only affects your moving. So see how there's that. So even though on the outside they're called immobilization, stuns, even though there's like 20 different ones, in the inside it's just a combination of these three booleans. So obviously we have a transfer tower. Oh, this is the current tower that we're being under. Yeah, so we actually are doing what I was saying. Yeah, so that's right. Okay. So we actually are doing what I was going to say I was doing. Okay. So type damage over, say, stat instance or junk. So this is what I'm talking about here. Apply damage. So we apply the amount, the type, all that stuff. This is basically just applying damage. So if we apply any damage, then we send it out to the message and we say, hey, played out name. Let's just remove some useless code. Maybe I may have done that just for I don't know. So this current start thing it's a bit weird because it's actually not what we're currently doing. Because our current armor system is a bit different, so ignore that. Because we're just going to do the low armor system of ignoring 10 damage or whatever. Alright, so you're not actually going to have like a shield stat. That's just, your magic resistance, your, whatever it's called, and just ignore 64% or whatever, right? We're going to work that out. It's just basically a command equation. It's not too bad. Set level increment. No, where is it? Here we go. These are the ones we're talking about. Here we go. We have enumerator, which is going to be apply effect for duration. You say how long it's going to apply for, the stat to apply, the amount, and the amount percentage. So that's pretty easy and it's pretty cool. So essentially, there's also remove effect. As you see, all these things. When we apply effect, when we actually remove the effect, we actually remove the amount that we applied. Do you get what I'm saying? So here we're not. So here we're actually not even applying a duration. We're not even saying, oh, so if I did, let's say 50% of your speed was gone, right? When you come back, you want 50% of your speed back. But what if I remove 50%, then 25%, right? So what would happen is then your 25% would maybe come back first, and then your 50%. That would be fine. But what if your 50% came back first? It still should be fine. It should just be that you get you'd still have less than whatever. You'd have like about, let's say, you have 100 HP, and you lose 50% of it. You get 100% movement speed, right? You get 50% movement speed, or 50 movement speed, we'll call it. And then, how about I notepad this? So, you get 100 HP. Alright, you lose 50% of that. So now we have 50 HP. Or whatever, alright, you lose 25% of that. Now we have, really, 50 divided by 25%. 12.5, there we go. It's like friggin' 10 in the morning. I can't do maths this time. So let's say then, if we got back up 50%, we would be back up to, yes, if we got back up 25%, we'd be back up to 50, and then we'd be back up to 100, right? But what if we got back up 50% first? Well, then we actually want our HP to be at 62.5, so when we get back our 25%, it will be 62.5 plus the where we lost, which is 37.5, right? And so that's what you want, which is fine. That's the equation that we want. But what will happen is if we just add on an extra 50% of this, we won't get that. We'll get set 18 or whatever, right? Do you get what I'm saying? Maybe not, or 19. So that we actually got to apply the amount that we took off. So, so we wait. We apply effect of the amount or amount percentage. Oh, sorry. And look at this. That's wrong here. See, this is the old way of doing it. So what we actually want to do, let's do it this way, and have it apply effect. Maybe even return something. Like a amount to remove. Because if we remove a percentage, right, we increment the percentage stat by amount percentage plus 1. I don't understand what I'm actually doing here. The amount. I don't know why we're plussing 1 here. Oh, because we're saying if we have 0.9, then we want to increment it by 1.9. But it really shouldn't be that, because what if we want it literally by 0.9? Do we just negatify it? So if you lose 50%, you use 0.5. But if you gain 50%, you gain 1.5. Alright, so just remove that, and it's up to the user to make sure it's right. So what we're going to do is increment percentage set, as you see here. I thought we actually did this. I'm sad that we didn't. Is that so that we didn't do it. I mean, it's easy to do, right? All it is basically you just get the amount beforehand, then you get the amount after it, right? So we get a it's float, even though it should be double, by the way. That's fine. I'll just keep it simple. Before equals stat to apply of the final stats inspector. I think the biggest problem with the stat system is it won't help those who don't obviously have this. I do remember early on my stat system actually fix things up for those that do. So if you guys have a version, let's say, of this and it's not working, for example, the stat system isn't working, don't worry, I will fix up a version for you. I just got this version so I could actually see an editor, so I could actually explain it to you guys what I'm trying to do. Alright. Oh, why that? I literally just copied the bottom layout. Oops. Yeah. And didn't even realize. So, basically the only difference here is see how we got these bunch of these junk here. You don't need these. You just remove the inspect values here. Do you know you need them? I don't need it. And then the other difference is you don't need these. You just make final stats inspector a normal dictionary of string and float, a normal one. So you just kind of remove all these and just have a normal dictionary, right? And that will work perfectly how you want it. There's no difference, right? Absolutely no difference. The only fact is that you can't actually see it in the inspector. This plugin's actually really good. It's only $25. I believe there's a few others that allow you to see dictionaries in the inspector, but this plugin was the only one at the time of making this. It's actually a really good thing. I really like it. So where were we? Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing here. I understand what I'm doing here, but like I understand it, but I really shouldn't be doing it. But I'm just gonna have to do it. Okay, sorry, I'm rambling on like crazy. Okay, this is what happens when I don't do a video for ages. I lose how to actually do these videos. So before this, then what we want to do is we don't want to move the effect of this, right? We want to move because this is the new percentage. So we actually want to remove how much we added, right? So then we want to remove the before minus the amount, right? Percentage. It just crashed me for no apparent reason. Why is mine develop crashing? There we go, we're back to normal. It just crashed. I had a little hissy fit, and then it's now back to normal. Here we go. This is what I have, which is right, but it's not. We just want that. So what we're doing here is we're moving basically how much we added. So this is all the percentage does, right? We conclude that this is all the percentage does is it gets this and it times or equals to the amount percentage, or just times the percentage, right? So it's like saying before equals this. That's all it does. Remember, that's how times equals works. So using that knowledge, we can obviously just do this. I'll close the door. So, let me take another bite of my porridge. Okay, I absolutely love porridge, I don't know. Do you guys like have this one breakfast food or this like one lunch that you just have like almost every day? I don't know. I feel like everyone finds that it's an amazing breakfast food and they just have that for like the rest of their life. Like it's baked beans, or it's like porridge, or it's certain kind of cereal. So I don't know. It's like a weird thing. What else? Anyway, so that's all we have. We've done that, and now that took like 16 minutes to explain. So basically, that's what happens when you go back to code that you haven't touched in like 2 months. So let's just start writing some stuff because we've done nothing this episode. So this will only take a few seconds, and I know you'll be like, oh wow, we really slow this episode. I'm really sorry for that. So we got effect system. We also have another one called our actual effect. Actually, it could be under the same class because obviously you can do that, but it shouldn't be. But it's gonna be good for this because we can understand it. So we have another public class here called effect, and it's going to be a serializable. There we go, and it's using system. So, what does it have? Well, we're going to have a public list of effects called our current effects. Current effects. Just a new list of current effects. There we go. That's basically all this is. So, I mean, technically we could actually probably merge this into the stat system. But it's going to have quite a few functions, obviously like updates and stuff to make sure things work. So it's probably nice having its own under its own script. But this could definitely be done under stat system. But remember the old saying, make one one script to really just do one thing, and you should be fine. So we're making a stat system to not only handle effects, but also stats, and also handling how stats are modified. And that's quite a bit of stuff to do. As you see, each of these stats, even though they're super simple, they allow me to just say get this stat, and it does all the stuff behind the scenes. It allows me to just do things really easily, right? Super easily, super simple, and done. Okay, so a public class effect, there's a few things that we have. We have a public string of duration. Why did I say string? A public float. We have a public float of damage or effect damage flat. So you go, oh wait, what do you mean by effect damage flat? We probably should say effect duration. Do the old classic start off with effect. Now, come on, doggy. Effect duration is essentially, effect damage is how much damage it does to that specific stat. So it doesn't mean damage as in HP damage, it just means damage as in whatever. And then we're going to do percentage. And then we're also going to have our public stat dot stat affecting. Effect stat affecting. So wait, what about a stun? Well, that's all that is. Yes, a stun's different too. And you go, oh, but this covers buffs too. So what about on hit effects? Yes, that's too. So that's under the class. So there's a few things that we can do. We can hard code these things and have like a bunch of effects, like what we did with items, and have kind of the same kind of thing. And then we can just kind of instance them on runtime. Or we could kind of almost just have a bunch of functions under here that we can use, and using booleans and stuff like that, we can just kind of have it simplified. I think we're going to do that because it's a bit different. Even though I wouldn't do this for a full game, I'd probably hard code a lot of it because hard coding just makes things easier. Is one place you go, it's easy, right? Maybe when like an image here also. An image, just call it effect image. And so I think we're going to do it this way because that means that then I can kind of show you and say, well, this isn't actually the best way, so you can kind of see for yourself, maybe. So we have a few public booleans here, and these are going to be quite important, right? These are going to set everything. These got to be private because we don't want anyone to change them. And you go, well, how do we set them? Well, that's under constructor, because obviously constructors can do that. These probably should all be private. Except for the effect image. We don't care if you change the effect image. If you hack into the game and check the effect image, you can do that. Who cares? So we're going to say a few booleans here, which is basically just maybe we just do is on hit. Is it on hit basically? On take damage, on cast, on receive, on cast. On receive not only applies when you take damage, but also when you take any stat damage. So that can be slowing, that can be anything. So basically any spell cast, right? Which means that if you want, oh, but I only want it on receive when you take this stat damage. Well, that's different. That would be, oh, well, what stat do you care about? So that would be yourself. And you go, well, can I actually make my own effect class? Yes, you can. You can make your own effect class. If you want to do it that way, for example, let's say, whenever you take damage to your health stat, blah, 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 do this. Well, there's a few things you can do. You can make, obviously, all these public and do the old classic hardcode trick. Or you could just, I'll probably cover that later on. Maybe on receive damage, right? So on receive damage, on kill, and on move. Yeah, that's fine. Then we have a bunch of things to do with these things, obviously, right? Because you go, wait, things can have multiple stats affecting, things can have more durations, things can have multiple damage flats. Oh, no, not really. Nah, not really. If you think about it, if I hit you with a, let's say, we look at me and I've got Devour on, right? Which is a low item, a League of Legends item. And it's basically states that whenever you kill someone, the item gets +1 damage, right? So you deal with +1 damage. And when it reaches plus 30 damage, so once you kill 30 creatures, it then upgrades to a new item, which has more effects. So I won't go into those effects or anything like that, but basically, so whenever you attack, it's got an on-hit effect. So that's what you say yes. And you see how much damage and flat it does. On kill, it's also got a thing. Well, what's this on kill thing? Well, that's where you have something like a stat increase. It affects your stat. For duration, 0. Because you can have, because as you can see here, our stat system will read it and go, hey, you've just acquired this new effect. Is it 0? Yes, it is 0. So it means it's always going to be an effect. You get what I'm saying? So whenever you kill something, it gives you +1 attack, always. Actually, no, that would be under the item itself. So, okay, it's hard to say this because the way I'm doing it is that this is only visual, really. If you look at it, it's only really visual. The only thing that this is really effective on is that on here, really none of these are really. So the only thing here is if I gave you a stat increase, right, like one of my spells gave you, so that whenever you attack someone, you get +10 damage, like +10 damage to all your things. I would just give you +10 damage for X amount, right? And then I would say this effect, right? This is only really visual. On receives a bit differently. Let's say I give you a bubble shield, right? That's a bit different. So maybe I just have a few types. We're just gonna move these. Public. We're just gonna make these all public. I'm just thinking about this, and like, I think I'm gonna think about this a bit more before I do much more, because I don't really think about this. How I'm gonna, whether or not I want to do it X or Y. So I'm just gonna do it like this way, and then just say, okay, next episode we're gonna probably change a bit. So every second, yeah, effect applied. If current effects, and then applied effects. Actually, no, we say if duration is equal to -1, then it's infinite. Or what do we say? Or just give it a really long duration. I mean it's -2, so maybe we'll just say negative less than -2 for infinite. For int I is 0, I is less than current effects dot list count I plus plus. Current effects of I dot effect applied dot yeah, okay, we do need a public stat system. So we want to say stats copy dot apply damage effect for, we're just gonna have an effect here called current effect. That way I can just go here and just go, yay, current effect dot duration, current effect dot stat, current effect dot flat, current effect dot percentage. There we go. Then we can go current effect. Then we can go current effects dot of I dot applied equals true, and then applied effects dot add current effects of I, and then current I probably should do it here. That way current effects will be affected too. And then we just go current effects dot remove current effects of I. So there we go, and that should work. And then we basically just go here for int I is equal to 0, I is less than applied effects dot count I plus plus. Don't know why I didn't catch up to me there. Then we got applied effects of I dot duration is minus or equal to time dot time. Alright, and then we basically just say, hey, once it's done, if the applied effects is less than 0 of I dot effect duration is less than 0 and of I dot effect duration is greater than 0. So greater than -2. Then remove that effect of I. Yay! So that's all we're doing here, and then we also want to do a few other things, but it's pretty much near the end of, so we'll squeeze a little bit more in because this episode's been a bit slow. It's been awfully slow, this episode. Way slower. So the duration, the thing is, as I said, it's all about 95% of all effects will be applied beforehand, and there'll actually be no effect applying. Alright, so if I give you 10 damage for 2 seconds, we can do that. Easy. If I give you 10 armor for 3 seconds, we can do that. But if I give you 10 on-hit damage for 3 seconds, then that's hard to do. And that's what we kind of want to do. We kind of want to do these on-hit effects, which work for items, but don't really work for this. So if I gave you like 10 on-hit magical damage whenever you attacked, like Nami's W, and slow whenever you attacked, that would be 2 effects in place, but you only chose 1, but it would be 2. The slow would be easy, but you still need to have something good on hit. Maybe we have a function here called public void hit. And then we can also have another class, and maybe another one, like a public effects constructor. It's an empty one, so you can kind of make that your own classes, and then we can have a virtual void, a public virtual void. I can't remember the order of these things. Yeah, public virtual void of on hit. On hit effects, like a string of tag of enemy, maybe like a string of name of enemy, and obviously we know the tag. So basically, then we can go, oh, if it's a minion, then do this. If it's a this, then do this. So you get what I'm saying? So you can still like do those other things. So essentially, you can go, hey, does it have the minion in its name? Does it have monster in its name for jungle monsters? Then current effects, the max of current effects, dot count, applied effects, dot count. Because even though we applied the effects, the on hit thing will still happen until it's removed. If I is less than the current effects dot count, So while we're doing this, it's just like a double check, because obviously we'll get to a point where one of them I will be greater or equal to. So we're going to do a quick check here. Then all we do here is then we just go applied facts of I dot on hit, and we also need a string of the enemy hit name. Alright, and that's it. And then we do the same here. There we go. So that means that you can create your own effects. So, well, this isn't hard coded. If you want to hard code your own effects, like Nami's special W or whatever, you can, and it works. I think it's great. I think that's the end of this episode. I mean, I don't really show much off, but we'll show off like the actual visual stuff next time, like the little buffs in the corner. We will format this document so the game stops complaining at us that it was made in Linux. I mean Windows. Anyway, not Windows. It's made in Mac. There we go. Done. I'm scatterbrained today. We'll just go back to our normal scene. Actually, it should be normal on these scenes. I don't care. There we go. Ooh, stuff. We'll end on this scene. And for some reason we have this. Oh, I see. We got matte nav mesh. Yes. Okay. That's for 2. I don't actually know whether or not we use nav mesh now. I don't think we did. Anyway, we're honest. We're probably going to be changing up the code anyway, because we're going to be using faster systems. Anyway, see you guys next time. Sorry for the weird episode today. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Anyway, see ya.